Many visual novel readers, new and old, are looking for that next new visual novel to read. VNDB, or the Visual Novel Database, is a common place to look for them. You could just look at the top-rated visual novels, especially if you include the help of August Hale's video summary of the top 14 rated ones. Or, you could use VNDB's surprisingly advanced search, especially if you have the guidance from Bakao Chujin's guide on that. What if that advanced search didn't really help you find anything? What if the top-rated visual novels on VNDB aren't exactly what you're feeling at the moment? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 different automated visual novel tools that recommends you based on your preferences using VNDB data. The first one I'm going to be talking about is VNLike, which is by far the easiest and most simplest one to use. This is a small website developed by Juicy Standoffish Man. The premise is very simple. You go to the site when you think of a visual novel that you liked and just want to see more of, and hoping to find something similar. Since this small website uses Misaki Tobisawa's sprite from Aokana, let's go ahead and try to use Aokana for Rhythms Across the Blue as our example. Yeah, this, as you can see, the search is very particular. As you can see, there's 3 different columns here: high votes, similar tags, and combination. As of this video, this website is still in development, but generally what the 3 columns mean is that high votes means these are just visual novels that rate very highly on VNDB and only mildly relate to the visual novel you're searching for. The middle column, similar tags, just self-explanatory. It looks for visual novels that have very similar tags to the one you input and gives you the top 30 or so. If you want a combination of the 2 tags, you can go on here. There's about 30 visual novels for each column. The next site we have is VNStat, not to be confused with the network trafficking software used on Linux. This was developed by Nosleel. Unlike VNLink, you actually need a created VNDB profile to take advantage of this. However, I do think it's very much worth it once you see the stats that it can offer, in addition to the recommendations. On the homepage, you can actually find your profile by either typing in your username or ID. So in this case, mine should be, now it's inch time. Looks like it exists, so let's click on it. As you can see, it starts off with a summary that gives you a cool stats related to ratings, release year, length, age rating, and stuff. There's also a bunch of cool stats like how it just shows your raw top rated visual novels, the average rating based on tags that are related to visual novels, and what tags you seem to like the most. Same goes with traits. Same goes with staff who worked on the visual novel, whether that be writers, artists, or musicians. Seiyu, which is Japanese for voice actors. Developers specifically. Publishers specifically. And there's even a tab where you can find users who have very similar tastes to you. However, what we're focused on is the recommendations tab. This recommendations tab is based on all the little tabs that I already talked about before, and by default it gives you recommendations based on a combined factor of all the traits and stuff that you like. So for example, I haven't read Kinkoi or the Vandisk yet, and predicts that I would give it roughly about an 8.0 score. These are just nice ways to give you ideas of what you may want to read next. One thing you may have noticed in the top right is that it says excluding 56 novels that you have blacklisted or dropped. This is something very convenient. One thing that's especially cool about this is you can actually filter these recommendations based on specific tags you want to see. So for example, let's say on this recommended novels page, I just want to find stuff that's just slice of life comedy. Suddenly we have a filtered list where the only results that show are ones that specifically have the tag slice of life comedy on the VNDB page. So this is probably the best site to use if you know you have a VNDB profile. Finally, we have the Automod-chan recommender created by user Some Guy. Yes, that's his actual username. This was originally a subset of stats based on the What Are You Reading archive that users write down during weekly topics on the visual novel subreddits. Automod-chan is based on Cookie 4 from Majikoi SNA. Anyway, the idea of this site is to put your own custom list of visual novels you like and dislike, as well as any tags or traits from VNDB you can think of, and then the list will give you 10 users that are considered soulmates or people with really similar taste to you, in addition to 10 visual novel recommendations based on the tags and traits you put in. Unlike VNLike, which does not look into your VNDB profile at all, and VNStat, which requires a VNDB profile, this is the one site that actually gives you options whether you have a VNDB profile or not. But let's say you want to use this and don't have a VNDB profile. So when you reach this page, you would click VNDB mode and then click I don't use VNDB. So let's start by putting in some visual novels you want to see. Let's say I'm a user that just wants to see more slice of life visual novels and don't want to read anything plot related or really dark or anything. So let's put some popular slice of life visual novels like Maj Koi, Alcana, Marshmallow All the Way Home, If My Heart Had Wings, Hoshiori Yume Mirai. Now let's put 5 visual novels that we don't want to see or don't like. Saya no Uta, Dies Irae, Fate Stay Night, Baldur's Sky, and White Album 2. Now let's put a few traits and tags that'll help us get closer to something we want. Slice of life, romance, and just for fun, let's put Dere Dere Heroine. It looks like Automod-chan can tell what kind of genres you like. So as I said earlier, it gives you your top 10 soulmates based on the visual novels you put that you like and dislike. I don't know who any of these people are, but apparently they have really similar tastes. And based on the traits that I put, as well as only searching for English titles, it gives us not quite 10 recommendations since I was very specific. There are also soulmate picks, but it looks like it's possible if you don't use the VNDB profile mode that a higher chance of no visual novels from soulmates specifically to recommend to you. Now let's just quickly try to do a VNDB profile search. I already have my profile in here, so I'll just click start with VNDB ID. Actually, I'm going to try to not have any extra tags on here, just to see what it gives. As you can see, even when I just put a VND profile with no extra tags or anything, it still gives me soulmates based on my tastes and filtering out English releases only by only giving me stuff like White Album 2, Steins Gate, Blooming Panic, Mask of Truth, etc., all that I have not read before. It does seem to assume that I like drama visual novels, which I guess is true, but when I don't put in that I'm specifically looking for slice of life, the recommendations turn out quite different. But on the other hand, it does give me soulmate picks, which include Little Busters, Higurashi, King Koi, White Album 2, etc. Anyway, that about wraps up the 3 automated visual novel recommenders based on VNDB data. If you have any questions or feedback based on this video or the recommenders I talked about, feel free to leave a comment below.